Okay, so last time I created some of these uh, three-dimensional blocks where I used the minimal amount of blocks that I could use within a cubic volume area. So this was a 3 by 3. Then I moved on to a 6 by 6, where you can see, and it was the same from the top. It was just all covered there, 6 by 6. Or if I landed on this side of it, it was 6 by 6. And there, if I was at the right angle, you would see that there was nothing, no holes or anything else like that. But Minecraft does the wonky with the visuals. Then I mixed it up and I did it with the colors here. And I did it with the colors because I wanted to see, and I was just messing around. Most of this stuff I do on Minecraft, it's just because I'm messing around and I want to see what something would look like. And so I did that. And then what I did was I said, well, what if, being the math teacher that I am, what if, as I was looking around it, I noticed that it looked different from the different angles. Where there you can see all of the colors in rainbow formation. If you go over to here, you can see that it's a different pattern of rainbow. And here it's a different pattern of rainbow. And if you go up and above it and look down on it, it's another different pattern. So that kind of triggered me as to, is there a mathematical pattern to how it looks going from one to the other? So what I did was in Excel, so let me open up Excel here and I'll show you what I did in Excel. In Excel, I created what this looked like originally. And I gave them coordinates. So this right here, what you're looking at on the left side there, let's see here, right there. Let me make sure that it's got only that part that I want you to see. So this is X, Y, and Z. Now for the purposes of what I'm doing, Z kind of goes forward away from me positively for the Z axis. So if I'm going back to this graph over here, what I'm looking at is that. Now I guess I did this. Oh no, I see what I'm doing. I got to look at it from this way. Here we go. Okay. So as I look at this graph from this perspective right here, or the three-dimensional shape, the coordinates of all the purple items, they're all in front here. If you look at it, all the purple items are in front. So they're all going to have a Z coordinate of 1. So if you look over here, you can see that the Z's all have, the purples all have a Z coordinate of 1. There's one there, there's one here, there's one there, there's one there, and one there. Now, the X and Y work similarly. So I plotted and I gave the colors, I gave each color a coordinate, every block a coordinate. And then as I moved it around, I took a look at it this way and I said, okay, now that I'm looking at it from the right perspective, I'm going to reconnoiter my coordinates so that the front is now the rainbow going from purple up to orange diagonally. So that's the front one there. And when I did that, on this side over here, you can see that it looks like that. Let me see if I can just move this over so we can look at it. That's what it looks like now, that we have this reverse purple to red rainbow effect. And I say reverse because I usually think of the rainbow as Roy G. Biv. So this is the opposite of that. And the coordinates were such that I wanted to find a pattern. And I noticed that if I go, let me expand this out now. After I plotted it all out, I wanted to know what was the transformation. Again, being into mathematics, I'm always trying to figure this out. And the pattern I realized was, if this was a red coordinate right here of 1, 6, 6, this same block would be over here at the new coordinate of 6, 6, 6. And if this yellow one here was 1, 4, 4, the new coordinate was 4, 4, 6. So I tried to look for a pattern of where it went from one to the other. And I realized that the pattern was whatever these coordinates were here, x, y, and z, the new coordinates were z, y, and 7 minus whatever x was over here. All right. And then I did the same thing looking at it from the other perspective. Let's just minimize this here and get back in here. So I looked at it from this perspective, where now I do have it in Roy G. Biv formation, and I was curious if there was another similar pattern of how the blocks all changed their coordinates when I looked at it there, and that was over here. So instead of it being y stayed the same, those all the blocks are still the same height that they used to be, but instead of it being z, y, 7 minus x, this time it was 7 minus whatever z was originally, and then y, x with the coordinates. So it was definitely a pattern that I could track. And I did the same thing for what it looked like from above. If you notice, it's a similar rainbow pattern, but now it's going from top to bottom rainbow pattern. And there it was, the coordinates were now x, z, and 7 minus y. And then I dug out from underneath it, and I looked up at it, and that's what that was. And it was x, 7 minus z, y, were the transformation, the three-dimensional transformation there. And so I thought that was cool. And then the final one that I did was I walked around the entire shape, and I looked at it from the back. So you'll notice it's almost a mirror image. Whereas these, the diagonal is going from upper left to bottom right with the red. This one is going from bottom left to upper right with the red. And the pattern there was actually two things with the 7. 7 minus x and whatever the y coordinate was, and then 7 minus whatever the z coordinate was to get to that transformation of what that looked like. And so I created this net, if you will, of what this would look like. And let me see if I can grab this. This isn't... there we go. And this is what the net looks like totally from all perspectives, and what the patterns were. I didn't do any other transformations on it necessarily. These were the ones that I was curious about, and the next time I'm going to do something a little bit more different than that. But I'm going to pause it there just to let you know where I'm going with this, and one direction I'm going with it at least. And but I took it one more step further about what I could think about and how I could use this and mess with it a bit, and that'll be the next video.